Hey, it's time to dish with D. That's me. Thank you for clicking on this video and making yourself a priority. I am Denise. It is week 12 on the Fall into the Holidays challenge. And I'm taking a little steer off the list this week, though I think I am almost on the list because I didn't make it for this long. But anyway, because it's Thanksgiving. And every year I kind of do a Thanksgiving video in a sense about the holiday of Thanksgiving. There's 4, to me, emotions or feelings you go through, and there's also 1 extra that we should be embracing. But we'll get into that. First, I'd like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. If this is the last video you see of me this week, I don't know if it is. No, I'll have my What I Eat a Day out tomorrow. I hope you have a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving with you and your family or your friends or whoever you spend it with. Enjoy it if you're working. God love you, because there are people out there that have to work and have to keep the ball rolling. So I appreciate that you work and you're working on a holiday. And I know that's not easy, but I appreciate the fact that you do that for people. So let's get on with, what are the 4, did I mention 4? Yes, 4 feelings, emotions that you go through. Now, these are my 4. Again, this might not apply to anybody. This is just a generalization. I don't want to say everybody goes through all this, because they don't, but some people do, and this is the video that's for them, because I feel like sometimes we need a little extra boost. We do. 4, the pressure, the desire, the entitlement, and the guilt. Yep. To me, they're the 4 I think most people go through. There could be more, but these are the 4 that I picked to do the general ones. The pressure to eat, the pressure that you feel from other people, that you feel that know you're on a weight loss journey and kind of look at you a little bit, and you kind of feel like, well, they're looking at me. Are they looking at me not to eat, or seeing how much I eat? And that's not fair, honestly. I think people, it's a holiday. And guess what? Yeah, we may eat a little more on the holiday, and that's okay. We're allowed to have a little bit of a splurge. I don't understand why they think that because we're on a weight loss journey that we can have the occasional holiday splurge. We're not sitting there eating like the king's feast. Yeah, we may eat a little bit more. We may have dessert we might not normally have, but that's okay. And I feel like some people look at us in a different way, like, she's on a weight loss journey. Let's see what she eats or how much she eats. It's none of their business what you're eating and how much you're eating. They need to mind up their own plate. And not everybody goes through that, but I feel like sometimes we feel like people are watching us because people know. I mean, they might not know, but if you've lost a significant amount of weight, they know, and your family knows because they haven't seen you, and all of a sudden, like, wow, look at you, you look amazing. And of course, what are you doing? Because they want to know the secret, because they think it's a big secret. So yeah, so it is kind of obvious. So I feel like sometimes there's that added pressure to behave, or to, or not to behave. What are they going to think of me if they see? That is 1 meal out of all year that they're seeing you eat. They need to get a life and yes, we're allowed to indulge in an indulgent meal occasionally. It happens. I'll put it out there. Yeah, it happens. And guess it's normal. So yeah, we don't sit there and eat steamed turkey. Or I should say grilled turkey and steamed broccoli for Thanksgiving. We eat roasted turkey. We eat stuffing. We eat cranberry sauce. We eat whatever we want. As long as we're okay with it and it's in moderation, there's nothing wrong with it, we might have a roll with dinner. Oh, stop the bands, because we might have a roll. And is she going to put butter on it? Oh, yeah, a little smear of butter? I mean, come on. I just wish people would just stop worrying about what we eat and just worry about what they're eating. And it's okay. And the desire. Oh, the desire. The want to be the old you, like not have to worry about it. Like, wouldn't it be nice not to have to worry about how much stuffing we take? But we do, because we know too much stuff. I don't want to, my goal to leave Thanksgiving dinner is not to feel stuffed, like uncomfortable. It's like, there's nothing worse than having that, your stomach hurt, and you're like, why did I do that? Why did I go back for that second helping of stuffing? I shouldn't have. 1 helping is plenty. And plus I want to have dessert. So I definitely don't want to leave that table feeling like that. Because even if I leave that, bottom line, even if I leave that table feeling like that, I'm going to have that pie. I'm going to have it, so I don't want to go leaving that table feeling that way. But there is the pressure, just the want, the pressure, the want, the desire to just, just not have to think. Wouldn't it be nice if we didn't have to think? We could just eat, but we can't. And there's, and I look at it this way. If I have to give myself a few minutes to plan that plate so I could not get sick at the end of the day and not feel bad about myself at the end of the day, it's worth it. It's turkey, it's stuffing. I'm not eating, like I said, I'm not eating anything deep. Well, so you might have deep fried turkey, but I know whatever I'm serving on my plate is not going to be that detrimental. That I know that's on that table. But that desire to always want more is always there for me. And I have to always keep it at bay, because it's like you go back into old habits, for me anyway, so easily. It's like you just start, when you give myself a little liberty, it's like, okay, I'm going to have more. I'll just have a little bit more. You ever like take those little bits and all of a sudden you realize you add up all those little bits you took, it adds up to a full serving. You don't think about it that way, because I only had a little bit 4 times, maybe 5, I lost count. So the desire for me to always eat, sometimes what I find helps me out is once I'm done, I need to put my plate in the sink. Because this way I can't put anything on if it's not there. Put my forks in the sink, I can't grab anything if it's not there. So I try to do that, try to put that away. And maybe I try to eat slower. Eating slower helps, because you don't want to be the first one done and watching everybody else still eating. Yeah, I put my fork down, I'll talk, I'll take a sip of my tea, and, sometimes I'll just sit there and just take a break and let them catch up. And so I don't want to be done that far ahead of them, so I'll look like, oh my God, she's clearing the table and we're still eating. No, I don't want to do that either. That's just, it's a holiday meal. You want to enjoy it. Like I said, sometimes, hey, I brought my phone. I know it's rude, but they're still eating and I'm surfing the interwebs, so I don't have to eat. I don't know. I think that's a win for me, but I don't always do that. So most of the time we're just chatting, Timmy with his stories and stories. So, or sometimes I'm like just getting some things put away in the kitchen or getting them prepped to get cleaned, scraping out the pans while they're still eating, and they're fine with it. Nobody's ever said, oh, Mom, why did you come in here? No, they're still eating. Hey, as long as the Brussels sprouts are still there, Timmy's not going to complain. So just keep putting them on his plate. So the desire is there. Like I said, I try to make sure that I have everything that I want. I don't sit there and not have it, because if I don't have it, I'm going to want it twice as much. So I just have a little bit less. Like, I know I'm going to have stuffing, and I do not make it light. I just make it the way I've always made it. So point-wise, I have no idea what it is. I have to guesstimate. But I realize that my cranberry sauce is 0. My turkey is 0. I have roasted vegetables on the side. If I decide to have a baked sweet potato, that depends. If I decide to have a roll, I go back and forth with rolls depending on how good they look and if I really want them. One year I couldn't get the rolls that we usually get, and I got the Hawaiian rolls. Oh, who doesn't love a good Hawaiian roll? Yeah, so I think I indulged in. I think it was 4 points, but you know what? You're gonna go. I know I'm gonna go over my points. I've accepted that, and I'm totally all right with that. And it's just not going back for that second help in the stuffing. There's where my problem lies. And I give myself 3/4 of a cup, maybe even a full cup. And I eat it so slowly. Oh, it's like, I think that's the last thing I finish on the plate. I don't miss the Brussels sprouts because they're cooked in butter. They're sliced really thin and cooked in butter. They're okay. I mean, I'd rather have the stuffing. I'll take the rest of the Brussels, I'll cube them and then I'll roast them in the oven with my veggies for me, and I think they're just as good. Timmy prefers the laden in butter ones, but I'm fine with those. So yeah, the desire. Just know that it's there. Don't push it away. Like, don't sit there and say it doesn't exist, because it does. We just have to sit there. We can just give ourselves a little bit, and that's helpful. The entitlement. That's my favorite one. Why can't I eat that? I work hard all year. I'm entitled to eat my face off. True, you do work hard, and true, you do maybe make up for it, and true, it is only one meal. And if you want to eat like you're going to the electric chair, realize the next thing is guilty. Don't feel bad about it. I mean, if you decide I am going to eat till I'm physically sick, that's up to you. I don't recommend it, but if that's something you're choosing to do, Own it and don't feel bad about it. Don't be like the next day going, why did I do that? Why? When you make that conscious choice to eat, accept it, own it, and move on. Don't be feeling bad about it. It's not worth the guilt. You have to decide when you're sitting there. If you're entitled enough to eat like you're on the electric chair, well then by golly, then go right ahead. But do not then feel bad about it, because then you never really felt entitled, because you can't feel entitlement and guilt. I mean, you can, but it just, that's why we mess with our own heads, because we shouldn't feel both. Either you're entitled and you own it, or then don't feel guilty because you wanted it. And there's no reason to feel guilty about wanting something. There isn't. No, there's consequences to that plate. No, there is consequences to that entitlement. There is. There is the fact that you might not feel well. You might feel sick. You might gain that week. If you're okay with that, then by job, have at it. Strap on that feed bag. That's a choice you make. But we do. Sometimes we feel entitled. We feel like we work. I starve all week. Well, you shouldn't be starving all week, number one. But yes, we do work hard. We do work hard, and it is a fantastic meal of the whole year. And I look so forward to Thanksgiving more than any meal of the whole year. I like Thanksgiving more than Christmas. I think it is a wonderful holiday. It is full of family, friendship, food, frolicking. There's no gifts, there's no shopping, there's no buying, there's no materialism about it. To me, of course, this has turned into such a materialistic holiday. It's about, what could I buy, what could I get, what could I give? Not even about getting together and just enjoying each other's company. I just love that's what Thanksgiving is all about. It's all about family, it's all about food, it's all about sitting around the table and enjoying each other and talking and eating and sharing a fantastic meal that you only have once a year. The turkey and the stuffing and the trimmings, and it's just, when I look at that table and all that food, and I even love to cook it. Some people hate, oh my gosh, I look so forward to cooking. Yes, I'm cooking all day and probably the day before, but I look so forward to it because I enjoy it. And it's something that, and it lasts for days. That's always fun too. And that's the meal that keeps on giving. We have it around, and nobody complains about leftovers ever. But of course, by the time Sunday, Monday come, you bad had it. Yeah, I don't want to see a turkey till next Thanksgiving. But yes, absolutely enjoy that. And if you feel entitled, you feel entitled. I'm not going to sit here and judge that. I just know that that is a feeling that goes around, that I deserve this, I earn this. And if you feel that way, then have it. But just don't feel bad about it. We have to own that guilt. We have to sit there and say, own that entitlement. Yeah, I'm entitled. I'm going to have it. I'm not going to feel bad about it. Snap. That's right. And that's a really good mindset, when you could sit there and have a big indulgent meal and not feel bad about it. Because next day you're back to your usual eating. And I'm a person that believes in eating leftovers. I have leftovers. I have turkey. I mean, I guess I make good, healthy meals that, yeah, I could eat it. Now, do I have stuffing the next day? I sure do. Do I have as much as I had on Thanksgiving? No, I have a quarter cup of stuffing. So, but you know what I'm saying? It's still going to have, I'm still going to have my cranberry sauce and stuff. I may make my little turkey bowl. I put a little stuffing and put more turkey. I got a pretty big 18.5 pound bird. So he's going to be around for a while. So we're going to make lots of turkey bowls. And Timmy loves turkey bowls and turkey sandwiches, the gobbler and all that. So theirs will have mashed potatoes and stuffing and turkey and gravy on top. So it's an event. It is. We just relive the next day, and we sit in the dining room on leftover night as well, and just sit there and just eat these leftovers. It's just fantastic. And that's how it should be. We shouldn't feel bad about food. Yes, we can have it, but we just have to, have less. And I'm happy as long as I can have some the next day. I'm not feeling too entitled because I'm having it. Especially when you make something, like I'm not buying the stuffing, I'm making it, so I know exactly what I put in it. The worst thing in there is probably I put a stick of margarine, not butter, when I saute my celery and onions, and I use turkey stock and all the turkey innards to make the stock, and I chop all that in the stuffing, and it's the Pepperidge Farm bread cubes. I use the sage flavored ones. I think I use 2 bags. And I use a pack of breakfast sausage. It's drained. I mean, yes, it's breakfast sausage. You could use turkey sausage. We just use regular breakfast sausage, pork. And sometimes I put an apple in there. I chop an apple up. So in this sense, it's really pretty good. But yeah, there's going to be, obviously, there's fat and there's bread and there's pork in there. So, but it's I'm just my mouth's watering just thinking about it. But yeah, so we have the pressure, the desire, the entitlement, and then the guilt. The guilt of feeling bad. Why did I do that? Why? Before you make the decision, sit down and think about it. You have to take the time. We rush into these hotbed moments of grabbing and thinking later, and then we go, why did I do that? And that Weight Watchers always talks about stop and think. Give yourself 5 minutes, sit down there, get in your head, and say to yourself, do I want it enough? Am I going to feel bad about it? And please don't feel bad about the food choices. It's a holiday. It's a holiday. And yes, you are allowed to have an indulgent meal. So don't feel bad about it, but just don't let it carry on to the next day. I mean, you could have the leftovers, but you can't have them, free for all. You have to weigh and measure your leftovers and give them some points and move on. But the one thing I want to leave you here with is the one other emotion that we didn't talk about. And it was called joy. The joy of the season, the joy of the holiday, the joy of the family, the joy of the food and the friendship and the family. And that you've created with that meal. It is joyful. It is a joyful time. Enjoy it. Enjoy the time you spend with your family. Enjoy the meal you share together. And think about that. And don't worry about what the scale's going to say this week. A lot of people take a no weigh-in after Thanksgiving, and there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with skipping a weigh-in. It doesn't mean, well, I ate my face off, I don't want to face the scale. No, it means like you don't deserve that weigh-in, because that's a different type of food that you don't eat all year. So yeah, it could reflect on the scale. Does that mean you gained? No, it just means it's a different type of food. And I encourage a non-weigh-in. I really do. I may not get weighed in on Saturday, because we've talked about my mindset for weight loss. It's been pretty bad, but it's gotten, I've kind of relaxed, and the scales reflected that. So maybe for me, I don't need to get weighed in this week, because I don't need the added pressure of seeing that number. Even though I know in my head that it's not a real number, it doesn't make looking at it any easier. And sitting there and seeing it in your app and seeing that plus go up, and you're like, how did I go up 3 pounds? I didn't eat 3, and you didn't. You didn't deserve the 3 pound gain. How many times we had 2 and 3 pound gains? Like, when you deserve it, you deserve it. But when you sat there and said, I was within my meal, I was within my points, I was within everything, but it's just, that's what you weigh at that time, especially when you're having a meal that you just don't normally have. It's going to reflect on the scale. It doesn't make it a negative, that's the way it does. So there's nothing wrong with skipping away. And you know what? Mental health is more powerful than anything that scale's going to say. And if that does you good not to see it, then don't do it. I wouldn't get weighed in and decide then whether you're going to record it, because when I have a non-weigh-in, I don't get weighed, because that is a non-weigh-in. If I get on there and say, well, I'm not going to count that because look at that. No, that is a weigh-in. You should just count it. But no, a non-weigh-in is you don't even get near that scale. And I've gotten a better relationship even the last couple of years with getting weighed, because I only do it once a week. I was an everyday weigher for a long time. And I realized that's what was really hindering me, was getting weighed every day and seeing that number, because weight is a fluctuation. Weight is a variable. It can fluctuate from minute to minute, hour to hour. You drink something, your weight goes up. You go to the bathroom, your weight goes down. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it goes up. I mean, you just have to remember that and not give that scale so much power. So sometimes by saying, hey, I'm not getting weighed this week, especially if you're getting weighed on Friday, Saturday, even Sunday or Monday. Honestly, I would take a non-weigh-in, and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm the person that believes there's nothing wrong with a non-weigh-in. It doesn't mean that you're cheating. It doesn't mean you're afraid. It just means you're realistic and realize you don't need to see that number, because sometimes that number, it sits with us, and we don't need that. We don't need that added, again, pressure. We get pressure from ourselves, let alone other people. So that is my encouragement. That is the topic for this week's challenge, navigating Thanksgiving. And you can do it. It is one meal. One. That is it. When you break it down like that, it is one meal. Even if you go off the rails, it's only one meal. So it's not like it's, you're away for 8 days and it's like, oh my God, I'm away for 8. No, it's one meal. It's one meal out of this week of 7 days where you have 21 meals. So out of 21 meals, you only have one that's out of control. And that's not a bad thing to be. Because back in the olden days, we had 21 meals out of control. It's no wonder I had 100 pounds to lose. 1 meal versus 21 meals out of control is a win for us. So that is it for me. I hope this encouragement helps you this week. Let me know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're still into the challenge, say, hey, D, hit me with a turkey emoji. I think that they're in there. If not, just say I'm still in. But there's a turkey emoji in there. Throw a turkey emoji down. I hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoy every second you spend at that table. And enjoy it. And I will dish with you another day. And if you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, join us here at Dish with D for realistic weight loss encouragement. So that's all I can say. I will dish with you later. And that's it for me. I will see you tomorrow on What I Eat Today. I have lots of tastings this week. So I will check you out then, my lovelies.